Thank you so much, Binduraj sir, for introducing me. I hope you are able to hear my audio. Acha, just a minute. Right now, are you able to hear me? Thank you so much for this introduction, sir, and I am very grateful to be on this platform to basically share what I have learned in this last 1 year in managing the COVID cases. It has been a difficult time to manage these cases, but homeopathy has proved a lot in this difficult time and has given very beautiful results. It has saved many people from getting admitted into hospitals just because we were able to use the medicines on time. I will be first starting with our prayer to Hanuman sir. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Without Guru, we are nothing, and it is our Guru who has proved that in epidemics, homeopathy has proved such a great benefit for the humankind. So, let's start with the session. I will be speaking to the point. It won't be a lecture properly, it will be basically sharing what we have learned in this 1 year, and you can ask me questions whenever you want to me. And there will be short takeaway point in the end of the session which would be very important in helping and solving the COVID cases and how to identify on time. It is very important we identify these cases on time because at times a very important time is lost by the patient when they are sitting at home without any treatment and waiting that I will get better from it. So the way of working style what I have adopted in this pandemic is an aggressive style and sticking on to one single remedy at a time. This is the way how I had worked. So I would be starting with my slides and let's begin on this sessions. So topic which I have chosen is basically a practical approach towards COVID-19 cases, homeopathic viewpoint, and how to manage along with modern medicine. At times, patients are coming to us when they are already taking homeopathic medicine and they want something more help that as a homeopath what we can do for them. So we are taking both the cases, those who are purely on homeopathic and those who have come along with taking the allopathic medicines. So in while they are taking allopathic medicine also there are certain points what we can guide the patient. I will tell on time and it will be very useful for all of us. So few important traits regarding this disease. It is coming under a destructive miasm. The pathology develops silently in the body and it is very fast. At times the patient is coming to us at the 4th day developing a pathology in the lung. Especially in this last 1 month the severity of disease has increased many fold. Last year when we were treating these cases, so before 5 days the lung pathology was not developing, but now if you do before 5 days also at times when the patient's symptoms are severe, he is developing severe pathology. Recently last yesterday night only one patient was taking treatment from me. Since 3 days his fever was not reducing and was not feeling comfortable. So I asked him to undergo the investigation. The blood reports came positive and I had to immediately ask him to do the CT scan, and CT scan score was 5/25. So it is developing before 5 days also now. So the things are changing very fast. What are the important investigations in this? So CBC ESR, serum ferritin levels, D dimer values, X-ray chest or HRCT, CRP values and IL-6. So these points are very important while treating this disease. I hope in Mumbai we will be remembering there was a time when the government was not allowing the patients to be at home. At that time this investigation played a very important role to diagnose the cases first, because RT-PCR, if the values were coming, patients were getting feared. So this was the route how it was used at that time, and now when the reports are coming 2 to 3 days late, these tests are again proving very helpful in diagnosing the cases. Now we will be starting about from the few cases of COVID patients directly. So it was, if you can see in the slide, the case is of 30th of May 2020. This is the time when we were actually able to start treating the cases, because March the lockdown settled, and in this 2 months the cases were not coming that fast to us. So this was my first case at that time. The You can see in the CT scan and post CT scan, as compared to the previous CT scan, there is a significant resolution in the size of the groundless opacity and consolidations. So this was the CT scan report pre and post. We will go to the next slide, and where the patient's description was given. So now the patient came to me on 12th of June, and you can see the HRCT was done on 16th of June. So 12th of June, the patient described the following symptoms to me. This case was taken on call. Since 19th of May, the patient's complaint was there. After allopathic medicine was better in health, cold and cough, she was facing it regularly. But the complaint for which she approached me was basically there was breathlessness, aggravated inspiration. She was having a lot of fear at that time. There was trembling of hands and legs on thinking about the complaint. The CT scan was specifically showing right lower lobe is more involved in the 30th of May CT scan, which we can see. In between, the patient had also cold drinks. Initially, loss of taste and smell was there, which came back. She was an anxious patient with a little anger also, and thermals wise, the patient was hot and thirsty. So this were, see, one thing I want to tell everyone: we cannot get exact symptoms. This is a more of a one-sided case history. What Haniman sir also used to tell us. And here there is a very scarcity of time. At times you have to take the case of the COVID patient in 10 to 15 minutes maximum. This is the time because in a day, if you have more than 10 families of patients, it becomes very difficult to manage and take the whole case taking. So this was the process how we have to take the case, and here we have to be attentive to be find out the PQRS symptom on which we would be prescribing. So this is the way how I used to, this is the plainly I have put in the case how I take. So I am not arrange it in a beautiful manner, but this is how we have to take it in a very fast manner. This is the way how we did. So we move on to the next slide. What are the symptoms? So pneumonia, the pathology is very important while repertorizing the cases. There was a loss of smell. There was difficult respiration while inspiring. The breathlessness was aggravated motions, and the thermals was hot patient and thirst. So you can see the remedies which were coming. So now thermals played a very important role in selecting our remedy. So on those basis, if you can see, we have to classify between chilly remedies and a hot remedy, along with the pathology and the stage of the disease is important. The prescribed, so basically the medicine prescribed here was iodium 200. Intercurrent Kalika was prescribed. Now here I want to tell that the patient's constitution is very important, and you can see in the short case history there was anxiety which the patient was complaining. She was very feared for her own self and for the children and her family members. So on those basis, the main medicine which was repeated was iodium. Kalika was an intercurrent medicine, and by 18 June you can see in the CT scan itself how the patient recovered. I have a short testimony which I would like if you can hear for just 2 seconds over here. So this was a short testimony which I had recorded, because that was the initial cases. We were also not aware how we should be proceeding ahead. We move on to the next case over here. Now this patient basically was an admitted patient which came to me on 22nd of June to me. Just a minute. So the first X-ray chest you can see it was on 22nd of June, and the next it was done on 16th of July. Now basically this patient which had come to me, the patient was admitted since 22nd but having no improvement in his health. He was having dry coughing while talking and was very irritating. He was troubled by that cough. So this patient was referred to me by one of the family physicians of our area, Mira Bhainder level, and she wanted some help that at least we can remove the patient out of the admission. The patient was very irritable. This history was given to me by her wife, because in this cases the patient was not able to talk to me on call also. The pathology was seen. You can see, if you can see in the CT scan, basically there is a left lower lung zone involvement of the pneumonia. So now this smaller things when we get is very important. So what I can suggest to all is ask your radiologist friends also to specify which lobe of the lung is involved. It plays a great important role in future. If you will see my cases, it plays an important role while prescribing your medicine. So the values we can see, LDH was high, and in anger stops talking for the some time. So this was the short history. He was basically an irritable patient with the specific involvement of the lung over there. And if you can see in the repertory, basically, so important rubric which was chosen was this: left lung involvement was taken, and you can see few specific remedies like aconite, calcarea, lachesis, natrum sulfuricum, oxalic acid, sanguinaria, canadensis. So now you have to also decide the miasm, and along with that the thermals and how the patient is reacting. So all these things are important while prescribing. We move on to the next slide. Cough remedies was selected, and on that a short repetization chart was preferred, and lachesis was coming in the upper remedies. Lachesis was prescribed to this patient, and extra medicines I had given him, natrum sul, sanguinaria canadensis, as I had told you. But these medicines were not required because the patient was discharged especially only on lachesis medicine. And lachesis, we have all heard about it, how useful it is in later stage of COVID patients where lung involvement is more. So this is the important thing which I wanted to tell you. Just a minute. We move on now. Repeat X-ray was done, and there was a significant improvement in the chest X-ray of this patient. We move on to the next slide. This patient had come to me on 26th of June. Now this patient was an old patient, husband of there was an old patient of mine, and his husband was suffering from fever since last few days. And this cases was detected especially by me only, and was put and treated purely on homeopathic medicine. You can see in the CT scan there is a subtle radio opacity in the right mid and lower zone, suggestive of infective pathology. And post that, the report which was done was on 5th of July. Here the patient had actually delayed the taking the chest X-ray again at least for 5 days, because in 4 to 5 days patient experienced the relief. So I had to call him and ask him that at least recheck that what is your health condition. So this was a 28 years male patient, was having fever since last 3 days. Before coming to me, he had taken allopathic treatment at that time. And the symptoms which he presented was coughing is mild, and there was a fever which was coming. Heat was first and then chill was coming. Mild body pain and tiredness was there. There was an increased thirst with a dryness of mouth. Fever was coming around 100, and there was a specific thing which we was saying. Fever mild was aggravating at around 5 p.m. in the evening time. There was also loss of taste in this. Tiredness was also along the other symptoms in this patient. So now you have to search with a PQRS symptom which is important. So I tried to search in the repertory, is there any rubric which matches what the patient is saying, and I got this rubric which was somewhat matching, and you can see there is a 3-mark medicine lycopodium is mentioned over here. Along with that, lung medicines which are important was an Ipecac, Sanguinaria canadensis, you can see over here. Hepasulf is also an important medicine. Chelidonium is also mentioned. So this is the way how you need to continuously monitor what medicines are coming, because you are only having 10 to 15 minutes. At times the situation used to be that I had to courier patient to some other state, and the courier there is a Blue Dart office in front of me, so it closes exactly at 8 p.m. and 6:30 I start my clinic. So there is a rush of patient. Along with that, we have to take that case of the COVID patient. Within 15 to 20 minutes, I have to decide the right medicine, prescribe and send the medicine. This fast the pace of the working we had to develop at times. Lycopodium, if you can see, there is a specific thing. Heat then chill is a symptom. Typhoid like presentation is there, and an evening aggravation was also there. We had selected the symptoms. There was a thirst also. The patient was little chillier side, so we had taken that symptom. Loss of taste we had taken, and afternoon aggravation around 4 p.m. Lycopodium was prescribed to this patient. This was basically a message given to me that keep on checking the oxygen and the temperature. Later evening, X-ray was done and showed the pathology, and the following case history was taken. So now, after giving lycopodium, this patient developed little different symptoms. So in this case, there was a little again the fever spike started because patient had stopped taking the medicine properly in between. So right mid and lower zones were affected already. This is the thing which we were aware. The coughing had also increased at that time. So I had to re-repertorize the case at that moment of the time, and the pneumonia pathology was selected along with loss of taste, and cough was increased in the morning time was one of the symptoms what the patient was saying. After that, iodium was the medicine which I prescribed along with an Aspidiosperma mother tincture as a supporting medicine, and after follow-up, after 2 days, the patient started feeling better. So now here one thing what I wanted to mention over here, basically there is a very great importance of basically the complementary medicines. You have to keep those medicines in your mind when you are prescribing or when you are retaking the cases. So it has a very great role. It clears your cases and brings the patient out of the deathbed. So this is what I want to mention again in this session. We move on to the next case. This patient was basically you can see a 58 years old patient was having lung involvement basically, and post that the repeat CT scan was done on the 29th of July. The patient came to me on 15th of July. Now what was the symptom this patient was facing basically? So this was the history given to me. There was a pneumonia, right lung lower side more involvement was there. Since 7 days fever was coming and had got wet in rains, and post that the fever pattern started. The patient was taking allopathic medicine but was not able to recover. So the allopath himself also told me that kindly add something that we can help this patient to come out of this. Fever used to come specifically night 4 to 5 a.m. There was first chill and then heat. The body pain, backs and legs were paining. Patient was a chillier side. He was thirstless. Mucus was coming from the mouth which was whitish color. There was a loss of taste also when this. And one important thing what the patient told me that he doesn't like warm water while drinking. He want either little cold water or at least give some normal room temperature water. So these are the way smaller points if you can identify while taking your case, it helps a lot. So we see what important the smaller symptoms help us. So we repertorize this case. So if you can see over here, we had taken pneumonia, right lung involvement specifically. The pattern of the fever was importantly taken. There was a chill first and then heat was coming. Then you can see there was a chillier side. The patient was thirstless. There was a loss of smell and taste also. Lung involvement in general pattern we had also taken, and he was also suffering from constipation during this specific period. So this was taken, and you can see from the remedies over here, phosphorus was coming very importantly. We prescribed this patient phosphorus, and what should I say? The night I had immediately dispatched the medicine. That same night he started with the medicine. And at that night, the 4 to 5 a.m. peak, the fever peak which he used to get, that didn't came the next day. You can see follow-up next day. Fever didn't came after the medicine was started and patient was also feeling comfortable. Here you can see at times we have to give an anti-miasmatic in between, like a cefilinum was prescribed in as an intercurrent in this patient, and I should tell you that it has a very great impact while treating these cases. We move on to the next case. So now this patient, she was a female patient who was again referred to me by an allopathic physician. Now this patient was something what we say happy hypoxia. The patient's oxygen saturation at the time we had started the treatment was around 58 or something. The patient was actually suggested to get admitted, but seeing that situation of pandemic, the patient didn't wanted to get admitted, and he asked the consulting physician over there that at least do something so that we can take the treatment at home itself. And if you can see over here, 13 July and the next X-ray was done on 24 July, and as compared to the previous rate, there is a great decrease in the ground glass haziness of this patient, if you can see over here. So now what was the history given to me basically? So since 12 days she was having vertigo, nausea, headache and fever came twice. There was a breathing issue. You can see over here the oxygen saturation is 54 over here. There was breathing issues, oxygen level is less, and there is a ghabraman is like a form of palpitation if you can compare. Not specifically, but it is form of that what the patient was mentioning to us. There was a fear. The mucus which was coming was whitish and thick colored. Coughing were occasional in the morning time. There was chest pain on coughing. She was an old patient of heart arrhythmia, diabetes and blood pressure also. There was an hazy pneumonia seen in the lung. Specific region is not mentioned. So I always constantly keep on monitoring what the CT scan report is also giving to us. This is the way how we have to keep our mind constantly active. So this is on those basis. So we can basically define how our treatment should be there. Just a second. So patient mentioned about her thirst. There was dryness of the mouth. Overall, she was a hot patient. She was also taking sleep medicines. Mucus coming was little bitter taste, what she mentioned. She here also had a desire for cold water or cold juices. So now this was important symptom. And there was a tension also and depression, what she mentioned to us at that time while the taking of the history. And she had a lot of fear of something big happening to her. Dyspnea. Now the important symptom what she was facing basically there were dyspnea, aggravated walking or exertion. Dyspnea better lying on the right side or on the abdomen. So how we did the repetization in this patient? So you can see the expectoration taste better was mentioned over here. You can see the patient was little hot side. There was thirst. The lung involvement was also mentioned. She had desire for cold water and dyspnea, exertion. Now the other slide also you can see there were the other rubrics which were taken in this cases. Phosphorus 30 was the prescribed medicine initially. Now the follow-up which was given to us, if you can see the patient had come to us on just a minute 13th of July and the follow-up which was taken by us was on 17th of July. Yesterday was the patient. Now in this you can see the oxygen had started to increase after prescribing the phosphorus medicine, which was the requirement of that stage of the disease. Now after a few days the patient again started complaining fever. So now in this stage we have to repertorize the case and see what is the medicine again coming and then take the next decision. We cannot immediately change every time, but at times if the stage of the disease is demanding, we have to be attentive and then take the next call. So the case was again taken. The fever type there was first chill and then heat was experienced by the patient. She was complaining of throat pain also in the center. Mild body pain was there. Cough is much less from the time we started her treatment. Chest pain on coughing is not there now. And appetite is also better, increased appetite. But the appetite what she mentioned to me at that time, she was having increased appetite. She wanted to have more food at that time. So again the repetization of the case was done. And if you can see now there was an increased, she was feeling hot and there was increased thirst. And if you can see from the medicines coming over here, the pathology was given more important. That is the reason this medicine was highlighted over here. And we prescribed this medicine. So iodium 30 was prescribed in water very frequently to this patient. And if you can see On 21, the oxygen level moved to 92 to 93. So from where we started to where the patient is right now, you can see there is a drastic change in here. On 29th, the patient was again followed, and post that Viritrum Viridi was given because the patient was having arrhythmia complaints also. So now the patient was much stable from the time where we started the treatment and therapy of this patient. So this was the chat which I would like to share, that we were constantly monitoring these cases. So no fever, no cough, and the oxygen started doing. This was the in between chat what I am sharing, and it is very important to follow the patient daily at times. I would say daily, and on those basis only, if any fluctuation is going on in patient, it helps us to identify on time, because there is a very short window where we have to treat this patient, and we have to be attentive that the patient is not worsening also, because here there is a, if you are not attentive, the patient will die, and this is not allowed. Just a second. So now we move on to the next case. Yes. So this was a patient of 70 years old male patient, and he started with the fever and lung affection was there. If you can see the CT scan report, the first was done on 30th of September and next was done in the month of October. So those were the short cases which I presented. Now the session which I have basically wanted to share, I kept it very short to the point. There are multiple cases what we can see over here, how the patients initially came with ground glass opacity and how he improved. At that time the situation was such that we cannot basically do RT-PCR test for each and every patient, because there was a lot of panic going on in Mumbai basically at that time. So these were the old cases what I had presented. Right now the situation has changed. The patients are able to do RT-PCR, but there are a lot of cases, so I couldn't again show you those cases, because the situation is such bad in April that we were working since morning 10 o'clock to night 12 o'clock and not able to handle the patient. So Dr. Shaji on my request arranged this session on Sunday for me, and I'm very thankful to Dr. Shaji that he gave this time on Sunday, because this is one day which we keep our clinics closed and give time to our family and to our learning. So now we will be processing from what we had seen, the cases what we see. Now we need to process, and basically why have we assembled over here is to learn something and apply in our own clinic. The whole purpose of for me to show this my own cases in the way I have taken, rather than changing the pattern in the way I have taken, is basically so that any homeopath, may it be a younger homeopath or an who is in more experience, can utilize these important things in his day-to-day practice and save the lives of our patient. Because right now we are facing a very difficult situation. Mumbai, the cases has reduced since last 5 days, what I can say, but in other states there is a constant call coming for this treatment. So we move to the next slide. So what should be the case taking in this cases? So I would like you all to save, if you want you can save the slides by taking a screenshot on your own mobile or laptop, that at least while taking a case, keep this pattern in your mind, so that constantly when you're taking the case you don't miss any point. So the location, the sensation and modality and the concomitant symptoms are very important while taking the case in a COVID patient. Concomitant, I would like to say that especially in the fever time, if the patient is saying that during fever I have this specific so and so symptom, while coughing there is a pain in the chest, so these are important symptoms. While coughing there is a discharge of urine. So these are the smaller things which are PQRS for us and help quite a lot. You have to also be taking a balanced decision, because at times if a patient is aged and he is coughing, the discharge of urine would be normal. But if a young patient who didn't have that age, and if he has experienced the same symptoms, so you have to then consider it as a PQRS. So all the symptoms are not taken at just a face value, but you have to judge it according to different background points. You have to also give importance to the organ affected over there. in which climate you are treating this patient. Right now in India, in Mumbai, there is a hot climate. Now at since last 1 month the climate was, now it is turning cloudy. So you have to understand how the season is changing. Again it goes to the rainy season or a winter, the medicines changes. The same thing I wanted to tell basically in a preventive medicine also. Like sir mentioned that I prescribed Bryonia medicine to lot amount of patients. We basically in Mira Bhayandar, I should appreciate that we have a very good amount of homeopaths who are very enthusiastic. They all came together. We discussed when the pandemic started in the month of the February that what at least as an homeopath we can play importance in the society. And at those time we I would say that Dr. Andrew Sain, he is a good homeopath in Canada. So I at that time itself started seeing the data which they were collecting, because the cases first started in other countries like Italy, European nations, USA, and then it's like slowly shifted to over India. So at that time we studied those patterns, what they were doing, what preventive medicines they were selecting, and why they were selecting, because they were seeing that same pattern in a large number of cases. And this is the, I should remind you again, this was the same basis what Dr. Hahnemann also informed us. Then when you see a lot number of cases, and if you see that in maximum patient there is a similar medicine which is coming, then while consulting with other homeopaths you can decide that this should be a, can be a, or should be a genus epidemicis at that time. And I should tell you, with our experience, we did a very proper study. We gave the large number of frontline workers the medicine Bryonia. We compared the data when they were working in with or coming in contact with the COVID patient, that before giving the medicine how many number of healthcare, and post giving a medicine how many healthcare workers got affected. And you can see there was a very less casualty and very less number of patients got infected by COVID even after exposure to the disease. So this was the thing what we did. And I should tell you, the efforts which we put in the initial February month until March, April gave us the benefits in the month of May. This is what I want to share with you all. Time of aggravation, the type of discharge with the patient is having is also very important. Many COVID patients are generally, if you can see, a common symptom that they are having a whitish expectoration or a transparent. But if you can get over here that the patient is having yellow expectoration, greenish expectoration, or there is a blood in expectoration, this becomes an important thing for us. We move on to the next slide. What is the pattern of the fever that the patient is having? Chill, heat, sweat. During those phases also, what symptom the patient is developing is important for us. Concomitant complaints during the fever. The patient is thirsty or thirstless. The thermal of the patient, what is the stool and urine. Now if you can see in this last 1 month, what the pattern of the disease which we are seeing, there is an increased amount of the patient complaining of loose motions. So initially the doctors think that it is a normal gastroenteritis due to the heat increased climate over here, but no, this is a pattern of the disease. And if you can recollect, in the initial month of March, these things were mentioned that diarrhea is a part of COVID, and the common medicine which were given, especially the medicine Bryonia also, if you can see, there is a under it diarrhea is a very important symptom. Phosphorus diarrhea has a very important symptom. Viretrum album has a diarrhea as a very important symptom. So you need to consider all those things also. What are the menstrual function? At times the patient is menstruating, so you have to ask what the complaint she is facing specifically, what are her likes and dislikes. Now ailments form plays a very important role over here also. The patients are complaining that we had something cold food, and then the disease pattern started first in the throat or first in the nose. So you have to understand that from what thing the disease has started and where the first location of the disease started. So you can by that judge the pace of the disease also. Master the intercurrent remedy. Learn about the miasmatic load which the patient is in the current session. Past suppression helps a lot in prescribing. What is the past history of the patient is also important for us. What is the mental state of the patient? Now I should tell you this. This is a very important topic, and it plays a very important role in our homeopathic prescribing. I want to lay a great importance to this thing. Basically, the patient's fear, anxiety, want to help or don't want to help, past trauma, the ailments which recently he has gone through, and how the patient has developed the symptom, the grief, the mortification, the disappointment in love. This plays a very very important role in these cases. Now we move on to the next point about the repetition. So repetition depends on the susceptibility and in which the pathological state the patient is. Potency preferably 200, if you are very sure, then 1 m and above that can be used. The manner of the giving pills can be in the pills form or in the liquid form or in the water dosage. This is the way how we were prescribing. Just a second. Now we have next 10 to 15 minutes. I will be moving little fast so that we can give the important points on time. The parameters to be taken care while treating these cases, the SpO2 levels are very important. Ask the patient to invest on an oximeter at their home. X-ray if someone develops the symptoms, the pulse, the blood pressure. Now one important test is walk test of 6 minutes. At times the patient says that my oxygen is 92, 93 or 94, but after walking 6 minutes the patient's oxygen drops. So now this case is a little trickier patient, so you have to judge and then prescribe and then take the case. If you are able to well manage it, then you can go ahead, but if you feel you're not confident, then take help in those cases from your friend homeopaths. The mental state of the patient is also very very important in this state. Just a second. We move on to the next slide over here. The blood values, the CRP, the D-dimer, the CBC, ESR, and also rule out one important thing, the urinary infection. That now in few cases what I've seen, at times we miss the urinary test. So you should be doing routine urine investigation along with the test which I mentioned. The UTI fever is also very high grade, so you shouldn't be ruling out. You should rule out this thing very specifically at times. Otherwise you would be wrongly prescribing the medicine. So I want to tell you this from my own personal experience. Now I am sharing the slides what I did in the month of February, March, April, before actually getting the cases of COVID. This was a thing which I was doing and sitting at home and while seeing my patient. I studied all the important remedies in therapeutic session. This is the slide what I am showing of my own. Basically this is the way how I used to study, and along with our homeopath friends we were studying this thing, and then we came on the certain important remedies which were the good flu medicine at that time: Bryonia, Gelsemium, Arsenicum album, Eupatorium perfolatum, Camphor, Ammonium muriaticum, Carbovec, Cupromet. So these were important medicines how we studied. Now if you want to say what are the important medicine in the first stage of pneumonia. So first stage of pneumonia, Aconite plays very important role, especially in the children. If you're seeing that fever has started and he is in a COVID infected family, Aconite plays a very very important role. Along with an intercurrent miasmatic medicine from a syphilitic group, should be choosing basically. Bryonia plays a very important role in the first stage of the disease. One simple rule I want to say: if the climate is hot and patient is feeling thirsty and there is a dryness of mouth, and if you are not able to judge a right medicine at times, first prescription at least you can start with the Bryonia and then choose the constitutional medicine what the patient is in the state of the mind and add that. Gelsemium plays a very very important role when the patient is thirstless. Ferrum phosphoricum helps a lot. Veratrum viridi, phosphoricum, Lycopodium has given me excellent results. Excellent result, I should tell you. Sulfur, Kali carbonicum also has given very very good result. The Kali group medicines are also very important. Kali carbonicum, Kali muriaticum when the throat is more involved, Kali iode when the lungs are more involved. If you are seeing the charts and presentation of other doctors, they have mentioned Kali iode, and Kali iode has an iodium element in this which is a destructive element, and the combined medicine gives amazing results to us. The later stage of or asphyxia stage, Carbovec is like a course revival what we say, and it does have a very important role, being a complementary to Kali Carbonicum. So keep in this mind that the basically the complementary medicine while you are prescribing. Antimonium tart has given amazing result, especially if the patient is aged, he is chilly, and there is a reduced thirst with a tongue coated. So you have to be attentive and keep on asking the symptoms what the patient is having. If there is the tongue is clean and it is not coated, ipecacs come in between. If the patient is having vomiting, there is a diarrhea, antimonium tart, ipecac, you have to keep on judging the medicine. So basically here what I am trying to say is I am not giving you a specific to the point. What I am sharing is basically how to go ahead. And when you know this thing, what we say, like, you should basically teach how to fish rather than just giving a fish in your hand. So this is what I want to share with all my friends, and it would play an important role while treating convalescence period. The post COVID medicine are sacrolactic acid, Kali phosphoricum, thiocyanamidum when there is a lot of fibrosis. Scutellariae is also very important medicine which I very frequently prescribed. Drosera has a very important role when there is a fibrosis which we see in the patient, and it clears the fibrosis of those patients. Medicine which I use, so this was a statistical thing which I did, and this were the medicine which I was prescribing. So my suggestion to all my doctor colleagues is to play a very active role in this space where you don't require some rocket science, but some simple way of taking a case, prescribing on the symptoms which you are seeing rather than theorizing. This is the space where theorizing doesn't help. You need to be good with your clinical knowledge. You should be good with the medicines in your hand. You should be having a constant judgment while taking a case to while prescribing. So this is the way how you should do. There should be good knowledge of few common remedies, good knowledge of the repertories like BBCR, Fatak, Boric. These were the homeopaths who shared the exact thing what they were doing in their practice. These were the true homeopaths who gave us the exact knowledge. And if I can surely tell you, you can rely with closed eye on the books of this homeopath, and they won't fail you at all. Allen has and Boric had given so many important tips and points if you can see regarding the complementary medicines. Good decision making is very important. Consider this disease from a broader standpoint. Always consider all the points while prescribing. Smaller points from my few cases which I showed you, which I had shared you. Now you can think on your own part and include many other things in this. Importance of mind, then generals, and then physical. This is the way how it is being taught in our colleges also, and it plays a role in this manner only. The mind of the patient at times can is very important. At times the thermals are showing something different, but if the mind of the patient and you are very sure that he is pointing towards one single medicine, I would say from my own personal experience, you can leave the generals at that time and prescribe the patient on the mental symptom what he is giving at that state of mind. There was at times, if you can see in ICU patient, the patient become very suspicious that that doctor he will be able to treat you or no. At that time you should be having in your mind the medicine which are having coming under the rubric suspicious. At times the medicines you should be keeping is like there is a patient who is affected by certain bad news, and post that he started developing symptoms. This is the ailment from on which you should be thinking, and base your prescription keeping that center point, and then taking the other symptom and then prescribing. Be courageous, because you can change someone's life. This last 1 year, what I can say, I thank to Dr. Hahnemann that I was able to touch so many lives. At times I have not seen the faces of the patient. I was just talking to them on call, and we have saved those patients. Those patients are thanking us and sending more and more patients so that we can create a change in their life. And I want all homeopaths everywhere, anywhere you are, if this basic knowledge, if you can memorize or master it, it will create a lot of impact for the mankind. And homeopathy basically will get its desired position in the world. Even if one person thinks life is getting saved with homeopathy, I think the purpose of me taking this session is solved. Few important takeaway points. Now I will be ending my session in a very short time, hardly 5 to 10 minutes. But I want you all to take a snap of this point also, because this are important thing. Whenever the patient are coming, at times they say hamara bukhar or our fever has stopped, but go and ask him to check the temperature in the oral mucosa. The patient are taking in the armpits, and if you say the armpit temperature is not coming in COVID patient, you should first take the oral temperature. I had seen few cases where the patient came to me, sir, my fever has stopped, just give me the medicine for COVID. I am feeling only my COVID report is positive. I asked them, check your oral temperature, and the patient used to be shocked that the temperature was 101, 102. So this bad the disease is. You have to be attentive how to identify this disease and catch it at the bird itself. When you catch this disease at the bird, the patient will get better very fast. Check oxygen after a 6-minute walk. This is also a very important test to check the severity of the patient if there is no investigation at the place where you are staying. So these are important clinical points what I want to tell you, that it plays an important role. Do the blood investigations on time. If the after 3 days if you think fever is not stopping, don't wait and watch and let the patient be on just on Zincovid or Limsi or any other thing. It will create a lot of destruction for his life. Regarding Limsi, if the point has come, I want to tell all the homeopaths or all the doctors who had joined me that ask the patient to don't chew the Limsi tablet or the vitamin C tablet, because it is containing the orange flavor. Because of that, there is a throat infection which the patient is facing. Ask them to just swallow the tablet. And actually, if I want to tell you personally, there are a lot of studies also where they haven't given that much importance to taking these vitamins. They say these vitamins won't treat the patient. It's just a supporting thing what the doctors are prescribing. Now you have to take a call that how many medicines you want to give that patient while treating it. Do the blood. The CT scan is a gold standard. If your locality or a nearby place has a CT scan center, take help of this. It is a very gold standard. When RT-PCR test was not done, the CT scan was the thing on which we were basically giving importance. And even in pathology, we have rubrics where which part of the lung is involvement, and when you do this thing, it plays a very important role in prescribing. Be patient. At times fever takes time to settle completely. I had seen cases where at times 10 days the patient is taking to settle down. But don't worry when your oxygen is not dropping, when you are taking all precaution and monitoring the patient properly. Don't get bogged down that the patient is having fever for 10 days. At times the patient has to suffer. This is the way how disease is. But if you immediately keep on changing your prescription, you will lose this patient. So this is one important point which I tell many homeopaths when they ask me, should I change my medicine immediately, that since fever is not reducing. But no, check other symptoms, the thermals, how is his coughing, how is his basically overall activeness, how is his appetite, how is his thirst. If there is a change and improvement in those things, be patient. At times, since last 1 month, I'm seeing that patients are coming and getting admitted to hospital taking a typhoid positive report. That's saying that our Vidal has come positive. Now I want to say one thing, Vidal is an absolute test right now. Many doctors, I personally know that Vidal doesn't hold that much importance. If you want to know how you are having a typhoid, do the blood culture. That is a more important and specific test. So there is a false positive typhoid reports coming in patients who are coming COVID positive. So be attentive if a patient is showing you that 1:180 or 1:160, the report is coming, sir, give me typhoid treatment. Don't be under wrong hallucination that patient is only having typhoid. Go and investigate the other test which I have mentioned, and you will be shocked at times that the patient is not just having typhoid, he is having other symptoms. Leukopenia, simple CBC test also plays and holds a very great important role while treating a case of COVID. If the patient is not wealthy and he is not able to pay that much, plain CBC and plain CRP will help you in treating this patient. There is a leukopenia and thrombocytopenia which the patient faces in the initial report, and if it is there, then your diagnosis is sure. Have patience and faith on what you have prescribed. Learn the complementary medicines what you had learned about, and then it would help in prescribing. Again, the same point, whatever Dr. Hahnemann has said. Dare to be wise, leave your prejudices behind, take up all cases and save them. Don't be feared. Take help of the senior homeopaths, your friend homeopaths. They will be more than happy to help you in these cases, and it will create a lot of impact and will bring goodwill to all the homeopaths and all the homeopathic fraternity. These are few reviews which we were basically getting while we were treating the cases. So there were a lot of the things what we had seen, and the patient which I said about the oxygen whose was 58 or something, this was the review what her family shared to us. This was the patient. And one important thing, if I can do it being a young homeopath, I think all of you can surely do it. Take up the cases, be attentive, and help as many patients as you can. Thank you so much, friends, and I will be ending my session. I will be asking the coordinators to take up from over here and help further.